Today we'll look at Spanish verbs in the perfect tense with a focus on irregular past participles. We'll look at how we form the perfect tense and what the irregular past participles are. Our aims are to learn how to recognise irregular perfect tense verbs and to learn how to form irregular perfect tense verbs. For example, he escuchado música. I have listened to music. Has tocado la guitarra. You have played the guitar. Ha jugado al fútbol. He or she has played football, or you formal have played football. Hemos comido en un restaurante. We have eaten in a restaurant. Notice how each time we've got the verb haber before the past participle. Here's a quick reminder of how the Spanish perfect tense works. We have the present tense of haber, he, has, ha, hemos, habéis, han. Then we have the stem of the verb plus the ending ado or ido. With the examples here. He cantado, I have sung. He comido, I have eaten. He bebido, I have lived. However, today we're looking at irregular past participles. So here we're going to see a lot of them and you'll need to copy them down. Here we see three of the most common, decir, hacer, and ver, which become dicho, hecho, visto. Here are some other really important ones as well. Abrir, absorber, cubrir, escribir, freír, morir, poner, romper, satisfacer, volver. Now, as you can see as well, there are the irregular past participles. They don't follow the same rules. Abierto, absuelto, cubierto, escrito, frito, muerto, puesto, roto, satisfecho, vuelto. So notice how none of these follow the patterns of the regular past participles. So copy these down now, because you're now going to do some translation which will help you to see how well you're doing. Some of these verbs can have a prefix at the start. For example, escribir is to write, but describir is to describe. Another example is cubrir, to cover, descubrir, to discover. Now, because they have the verb cubrir and escribir in them, they still follow the same pattern with the past participle. So, for example, describir in the past participle would be descrito. So if you see a prefix in front of any of these verbs, you know the past participle is exactly the same as these, but with the prefix at the start. Now translate the following verbs. Remember to choose the correct form of haber and then conjugate the verbs in the steps you've already used. But remember, beware of irregular verbs because all of these are irregular. Remember also that some of these verbs may have a prefix at the start, but that still means that the latter part, the past participle, would still be irregular. Pause the video and complete the activity and then self-mark your work. And remember, if you get it wrong, correct your answer so you can learn from your mistake. Número uno, she has seen. Ha visto. Número dos, we have said. Hemos dicho. Número tres, he has done. Ha hecho. Número cuatro, they have broken. Han roto. Número cinco, she has died. Ha muerto. Número 6, I have returned. He vuelto. Número 7, you, plural, have fried. Habéis frito. Número 8, you, singular, have discovered. Has descubierto. Número 9, I have described. He descrito. Now remember to correct any answers that you've made mistakes on so you can learn from your mistakes. Today we've looked at Spanish verbs in the perfect tense with a focus on irregular verbs. We've asked ourselves some important questions. How do we form the perfect tense? And we've recapped it. And we've also asked ourselves, what are the irregular past participles? Our aims have been to learn how to recognise irregular perfect tense verbs and to learn how to form irregular perfect tense verbs with a focus on those irregular past participles. Muy bien. Adiós.